Look, I'm gonna tell you firsthand, money does not buy happiness at all. But what it does buy, it buys confidence, yeah? Money buys cars, money buys shelter, money buys food, money buys health for you and your family members or somebody that can be going through something. Money buys freedom. Money buys a lot, okay? It's just an amplification of who you are as a person. That's all that money does. It's a tool to be used for good, or if you're a bad person, for bad. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because it seems like everybody's scrambling for money in this new climate, this new day and age, this new economic situation that we currently have right now. And elections are right around the corner. So I took this video to dive into the topic. What are going to happen to the markets? What's my prediction for the markets in the upcoming election? Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video. And yes, I came back in rare form. I got a mustache. I got a mustache. I know a lot of you might not be used to that. I got a ridiculous amount of comments in my last video, so I thought I would address that. But yeah, it's probably gonna be here to stay. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback on that, but besides of the funny jokes and everything like that, guys, we're gonna be diving into the markets. We're gonna be looking exactly what are my predictions, okay? What's gonna happen during the election? What move can you take to potentially accumulate more profits? Make some money in cryptocurrency, money talk, money, money, money. If you appreciate money and how to make money to buy jets and house and confidence, like we talked about in the intro, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell. Again, this content is time sensitive. I plan on dropping 3 to 4 videos a week. I am in full effect, in full Alex effect, plus the mustache for this next couple months or whatever. As long as nothing, as long as I don't move again, I'll be fine, okay? I'll be dropping these videos for you guys consistently, getting back into the research and everything like that. And I see some beautiful things going on. And if you guys haven't been looking at the market, I highly suggest you start diving into it a little bit. I'm gonna start you off with this video here. So let's jump into it. Oh, one more thing, guys. If you wanna get some, back-end stuff, I've been showing like my area, like walking through this, and that. When it comes to like my back-end life, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description below. I do call out some coins sometimes on the spot. It's just much easier for me to pop open Instagram than have to make a whole entire video on YouTube. But these videos will increase in quality. So look out for that. So let's jump into the markets. The first thing I want to show you guys, which I thought was really, really, really interesting. We have Robert here, which is like, he's a famous economist. He's basically just saying this. He put out a report. He asked I want to just break it down very simple for you because you can go into this forever. And he basically asked institutional investors, people that handle money, hedge fund managers, people with a lot of money, right? People who make decisions for pension funds, mutual funds, endowments, and stuff like that. He basically put out a poll, and this is the crazy answer he got from this poll, and I want you guys to understand this. In short, an overwhelming majority of investors said that there was a greater than 10% probability of a crash. That's a remarkable indicator, that they're saying here. People are quite worried. So people with a lot of money, okay, let me just read that again, okay? The majority of investors, the vast majority of investors said that there was a greater than 10% probability of a crazy crash. Okay, so we've been talking about this for a while. Now, obviously this economist has nothing to do, I don't even think he is probably invested in cryptocurrency at all. I haven't heard of him in this cryptocurrency community. So it's an unbiased opinion from a person that just genuinely looking at the markets and saying, look, there could be something potentially really volatile. We all know during the stock market, with stock markets and cryptocurrency in general, during the election, there's going to be some type of volatility. The question is going to be upside potential or downside potential. We're going to lose money, right? Or you're going to try to cash out. I'll give you the whole strategy and break it down for you guys with this whole video. It's very easy. It's not going to require a lot of math skills or anything like that. I've used this strategy over and over again to accumulate profits. It's going to be ever more relevant in this situation right here. And I'll actually tell you the exact buy points and everything like that as we go through it. So that's the first thing I thought was very interesting and very, I don't like to just talk about any news out there. I look for things with credibility. Just to give you guys a heads up. That's why you don't see a lot of news, because these guys are just writing, trying to, popularity, and a lot of it's just regurgitating the same information over again. But I thought this was really interesting. Okay, so there's one thing I wanted to look at too, because I've in the past looked at the correlation of cryptocurrency market and the stock market to be very similar. And there's a lot of charts that indicate that it is. And that it follows. So if the market crashes, is Bitcoin going to crash? And it's been a yes for a very long time. But I've been opening my eyes to a lot of new things and realizing that it's not correlated like we think it is. It just happens to be that right now, the stimulus checks and everybody printing as much money as they are is just profitable for everybody. but the correlation, it doesn't mean it's exactly correlated. And let me explain what I'm saying. So this is basically the S&P 500 divided by Bitcoin, or the other way around, sorry, Bitcoin divided by S&P 500. So we're basically watching how Bitcoin has accumulated in percentage gains versus the S&P 500. So if they were correlated, this would be like closer to a straight line. And as you can see here, Bitcoin is just consistently outcompeting the S&P 500. How is that correlated? It's not correlated at all. This is the SPX, the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the United States, right? Which a lot of people, is the biggest indicator for basically traditional market, like what's going on. And we're basing them on each other. There are no way correlation. Some people have opened me up to this. Instead of looking at the exact price and exactly the movements of it, you got to look at it on a big macro perspective with a lot of data, and it makes more and more sense. Again, this is the Bitcoin just completely dominating. There's obviously no way any real serious correlation. Maybe the short-term time frames might look similar, but if you compare this to like gold, if you can compare it to like even the biggest stocks, you're going to see relatively that Bitcoin hasn't even hit its all-time high. And compared to other stocks like Amazon, like Apple, they're all hitting and topping out their all-time high. So the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to buy a high, or do you want to buy something that has the potential to get higher? Which brings me to my next point. This is the final topic, but it's going to be really deep. And this is where I'm going to draw a lot of my predictions from. So you kind of have to understand it. So if we just scroll out a little bit, I want to show you guys basically on the weekly, the whole entire picture. I drew this here so we can make some sense of it. So as you can see here, this is in 2012. These green lines there are actually the Bitcoin halvings. So if you look at the green line there, we have one there, we have one there, we have one, our recent one that just happened, and we'll be drawing a prediction from this. Now, the one thing I want to show you, just to break it down for you, is you can see here from the last Bitcoin halving. If you don't know what a Bitcoin halving is, I have other videos for that, but it's one of the most fundamental and foundational principles of why Bitcoin accumulates so much faster than other assets in the world. But as you can see here, there's about an 8,894% gain. That's about an 88x. Obviously, that's not going to be as much in the future, and we saw that. So if you take basically from the last right here all the way up to the top, we're going to see this is about a 27x. So we went from an 88x to about 27x. That was like in 2017. And then if we come over here, we can expect to see, in my opinion, anywhere from a 10x, right? Reaching the top, and then the time frame will increase. And this is taking into consideration the law of diminishing returns. Now, if you didn't understand anything I just said, I make this prediction all the time. Go watch my other videos. We talk about specifically how Bitcoin could be worth anywhere from $200,000 to $288,000 per coin. Conservatively, I will start cashing out about $100,000 to $150,000, depending on what the market's doing. Now, the reason why I want to look at this is because if you look very specifically at this one point here, I circled it for you guys. This was the last election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Okay, so we can start making, now again, history doesn't always repeat itself, and I want to be very clear with you guys and because I know a lot of you, of course, none of this is investment advice, but a lot of you look at this video to make, it's going to sway your decisions, right? So I want to be very clear. History does not always repeat itself. But what I will say is that the two variables that are very similar, right, which is the election and the actual, Bitcoin halving at the same time, right? At the same time, if you look here, it looks very identical. It looks very, very identical. Okay. So that's all. I just want to make it clear to you guys that it's very similar it's kind of crazy how it lined up. But coming back to my point, if we scroll in really close right here, we can see that from right here, the actual election time, there was about a 66 increase 64 days after. So in the next 2 months, there was like a slight dip, very small dip. And then there was a 66% increase for the next 64 days. Okay, that was the last election. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if there's something similar to this election, we can potentially see, again, like another 66%. I doubt it's going to be 66 because the law of diminishing returns is probably going to be around anywhere from 40. Guys, the number doesn't matter. What you have to understand is the long-term perspective of where Bitcoin is going to go. So in the short term, I'm expecting maybe, okay, I want to be very clear, maybe we see a 30% jump, 30 to 50% jump in the next 2 months, at least around election. We might see a small dip because, like I said from the beginning, it's bearish. It's bearish if Biden or Trump gets elected, right? Obviously, Biden has stricter tax laws in general, as well as on cryptocurrency. but they're both going to be bearish, right? So if Trump gets elected, people are going to, I mean, we don't know for sure. I don't want to sit here and speculate on what's going to happen to the market. That's not the point. My strategy works for a bearish or bullish, turnout for the election. It works for either president. So I'm not, again, I don't want to like get on the specifics because it's irrelevant. Anybody that says otherwise, they just probably haven't been in the market long enough. But it's irrelevant, right? The volatility is the money-making opportunity. You have to make one gamble, and it's the gamble we always make. We don't gamble on the downturn of the market, right? Because if you're gambling on the downturn of the market, historically, Bitcoin has been able to increase in percentage by like almost 98%. There's only been about 2 to 3% of the time where you're able to make serious money on Bitcoin by shorting it, right? So our goal is not to short Bitcoin ever. Never make that gamble. But what you could do is dollar cost average. Now back to the original point. In the short term, I do see a 30 to maybe 50% increase. There might be a slight sell-off, like very, very short term, like very, very short term. We might see anywhere from, like a 10 to 15% sell-off. And then I do see anywhere from 30 to 50% increase in the next 60 to 70 days. And then from then, just to give you guys a price prediction for the end of the year, I don't see why we can't see something like, for example, if we look specifically from like the last bull run to the top, you could see in about 496 days, we saw something like a 27x. So if we were to add to that, now if you look at the original one, right, it's about a year. So you can see it increased by about 100 and something days. I'm not going to get specific. So if we increase it by about 200 days, let's double it because of, again, the law of diminishing returns. The amount of money in crypto is just so much more. It's going to take much longer, right? I can expect maybe a 15x from where we currently were at the bottom. We're already up 3x. So from that bottom point, from the last bull run, we had about a 28x. From this bottom point, I think we can see easily a 15 to 17x. And from the bottom, $4,000, that will actually be a Bitcoin price of, just simple math, guys, 4,000 times, let's just say 15. So we could easily see a $60,000 Bitcoin within the next year, I would say. By the end of the year, I will say I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin can pass $20,000 per coin. I don't see why this is far off. This climate is almost perfect for Bitcoin. It's like almost like it was made for the specifics of what's happening, as you can see here. So I don't see anything changing, especially the fact that they've been printing a ridiculous amount of money and people are losing confidence in the economy. It's not too far off. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you feel like buying the all-time high of Apple, Amazon, or any of these companies that are already at their all-time high in a weird economy that is propped up by basically fake economic growth, right? Stimulus, right? Or do you want to buy something that's at $13,000, not even at its all-time high, has 80% potential to grow within the next year easily, and has the potential to 15x within, maybe 450 to 500, 600 days, in about a year to a year and a half, has the potential to 15x. It's a hands down decision for me. Now, if you're not comfortable with volatility, if you're not understanding anything I'm saying, guys, I do recommend you get with one of my coaches. And I tell you this right now, towards the end of the month, we're officially launching the Fundamental Secrets course to the public, officially, where anybody could just get it whenever they want to. They don't have to talk to my coaches or anything like that. And the business model will change. Right now, if you get in before the deadline, which is on the 1st, literally the 1st, that's the deadline, you get lifetime access. It's in beta. So for, getting the course while you're in beta, you get lifetime access. I want you guys to understand how valuable that is. And everybody in my group knows it. And a lot of people have been able to get results, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to overwhelm people with results and stuff like that, because they tend to be, a little bit, one-sided. So I don't like showing it too much. But I will tell you guys that people have been striving. I believe we are in the beginning of the bull run. If you look at the chart, we broke historical resistance I told you guys in my last video. That's like one of the biggest indicators in the past 2.5 years. In like 3 years, that's probably been the biggest bullish sign we've ever seen. There's a higher than 50% chance that we are officially in the parabolic bull run. Bitcoin could easily go to 20K by the end of the year. And I'm not just saying that. This is obvious stuff from at least what I've been researching and the people around me. And of course, I base my decisions not just in cryptocurrency people, but on people in general and what they're doing. So yeah, this is a great time to get in. Again, lifetime access for the course that's ending in approximately 3 days. And I will hold myself to it because I'm actually been a little bit too nice for what we've been doing. But it's in beta, guys. It's in beta. I didn't want to just make a course that I thought, I thought people wanted. I wanted to make a course that people gave me feedback, and I basically created it around them. So thanks guys for, if you already got the course, you're already in the beta, you guys got lifetime access. And for everybody else, get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot. I highly recommend it. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.